Welcome everybody to Marketing 100. My name is Neil Mayers. I'm going to be your professor for this class for the spring semester. The very first thing that I'd like everybody to do after they have a chance to take a look at this is go to the course, go to their discussion board, and the very first item on the discussion board is going to be a Let's Introduce Ourselves discussion board thread. You're going to see instructions on there. I'm going to ask you to include some information about yourself as well as upload a picture or an image that you would like to share with the class. Really, what our goal is going to be for the next 16 weeks is to demystify marketing and make you want to learn more. You are going to find as we go through this that first of all, marketing is ubiquitous. If you have ever done fundraising, if you have ever worked in a restaurant, if you have ever had kids or dealt with kids and had to organize them and move them in a direction, to a large degree you're doing marketing. So really our goal is to kind of break the marketing into its finer components, show you how it works, demystify it for you so you can understand that, and hopefully by the end of the course you're going to want to know a lot more about it. Now, a couple things for housekeeping. My contact information's on there. It's also in Blackboard under faculty information. My office hours are listed there. I am mostly in Culpeper. My office is located at Daniels Technology Center in Culpeper. Mondays, Tuesdays, and generally Thursdays I'm going to be there. Wednesdays I do have every other week. I will probably be in Fredericksburg, so I will have availability at the adjunct office to meet with folks there as well if you need to. I do office hours by appointment, so if you would like to talk either via phone, which we could certainly do almost any time, or during office hours, send me an email to that address. I will tell you that phone number, I only use it when I'm in that office. I don't check voicemail there. Now, a little bit of background on myself. Really, I come to this with 30 years of practical experience in marketing myself. Out of graduate school, and got my MBA from the University of Rochester in New York. I spent 5 years as a brand manager for Kraft. Subsequently spent 7 years in marketing and sales roles for Cadbury Schweppes. It was actually Cadbury Beverages. My last assignment, I was the marketing manager for Cadbury Beverages in Canada. Thirdly, when I came to Virginia, I spent 5 years as vice president of sales for a $300 million a year industrial services company, where I had responsibility for a sales force of over 200 people. And then for the past 16 or 17 years, I've also had my own recruiting and HR consulting business. Now, really to talk about the course itself, it's going to be broken into 4 primary components. The first phase, the first 3 chapters, are going to focus on the marketing planning process itself. We're going to talk about kind of the marketing environment. We're going to talk about how a marketing plan is built, and then environmental forces. We'll talk about the things going on around us that we have no control over, that we have to be aware of as marketers. We have no control over the weather when we go out in the morning, and like that, there's a lot of factors that marketers have to deal with that they have no control over as well. The second part will be then getting into consumer behavior. We're going to look at buyers in selected markets to understand how they interpret information and how to group them together. Thirdly, the third phase will talk about research and segmentation. Now that we understand how the consumers work, we're going to break products into categories and consumers into segments and how to attack individual groups. And then lastly, talk about satisfying marketing opportunities. The pure definition of marketing is the identification of and satisfaction of a need. So we're going to talk in the last few chapters about new products, channels, and communication tools. Now, I'm going to talk about where things are in the course. And I'm going to tell you, first of all, we are going to, if you go into Blackboard, if you go over to the left-hand side, you're going to see right below syllabus a tab that says weekly homework modules or weekly modules. That's where we are going to live for this course. The tab below that, it says discussion board. You're really not going to need to go there. Anything you need on a week-to-week basis, 98% of it's going to be located in that weekly homework module tab. So each week it's going to be listed by week assigned, and it's going to include one of 4 things. It will have reading every week. Most weeks it will have a discussion board and or a presentation or worksheet and or a quiz. So there will be 2 to 4 things in any given week that you'll have to do All of them will be listed in that weekly module tab. In addition to other important tabs to look for, there's the syllabus. Is going to obviously a hard copy you'll be able to print out of the syllabus for this course. My information is under faculty info, and the final exam will be under tests and quizzes, as well as a tab for Blackboard help for anybody that needs that. There's also a tab in there for presentation help. Now you're going to see a tab on there for discussion boards. They are on there, but you don't, matter of fact, I don't really want you to, or you don't need to go through there. All the discussion boards, you'll be able to access them through the weekly module. But that tab, that weekly homework module, that's where we're going to live. Now, each week there's going to be, as I said, 3 or 4 things. When you go into there, first of all, you're going to see the reading. This is going to give you what you're going to need to read for the course for that week. I would suggest you start there. You could spend 20 to 40 minutes reading through that, and I'm sure you'd absorb the material you need. The second thing will be, most weeks you'll have a discussion board topic where you'll be communicating with your fellow classmates. Generally speaking, there will be a video or an attachment of some type that will help add value to the work that you do on that. So you'll have some video or some additional content and information that will help you in the development of the homework assignment. Thirdly, if you go below that, there's going to be, and you can't really see it on the screen here necessarily, a presentation or another assignment of some type that you're going to have to do, and it's PowerPoint or Google Slides presentations is what we use. And then below that, once again, you're not going to be able to see it on this screen here, but down below that is going to be a quiz. There are 10 quizzes, and we have, I think, 16 weeks of the class, so most weeks there will be a quiz. Now, one note, the quizzes, all of the information in the modules are due by midnight Sunday night. So that's when everything is due. Now, textbook. Do I need the textbook? Yes, you need the textbook. This is the current version of the book that we're going to be using. I don't care if you get it hard copy, if you get it loose leaf, if you get it ebook. Doesn't make any difference to me. I don't care if you get it new. I don't care if you get it used. Doesn't make any difference to me if you use it from a friend. But you need to get a book. You do not need a connect code. They will, in some cases, if you want to get it in other sources, they may try to sell you a connect code. If that's more money, you do not need it. Get it however you need to. Now, one thing I will tell you is that tests and quizzes are open book. So it's kind of hard to take advantage of that fact if you do not have a book. How grading works? Well, just a quick overview. Quizzes, there's 10 weekly quizzes. They're worth 20 points each. There are going to be the homework, the presentations you do. There'll be 10 of those, once again, worth 20 points. There'll be 10 discussions worth 20 points. And then the final exam will also be worth the same amount as the total quizzes. And a final project, which is listed in the weekly modules, will also be worth 20%. So that's how you get to your total. Grade Center will be done out of 1,000 points. So you'll be able to kind of keep track of where you're at. PowerPoint presentations. The presentations you did will be PowerPoint or Google Slides. If that's easier for you, that's fine. But they're generally going to be 4 to 6 pages each, and there will be, once again, a tab that will kind of give you some tips if you aren't familiar with using it. And the discussion boards, just so you know, discussion board posts are all to be around 150 words. So you're responsible each week for making 150 word post, and then at least 2 replies to other posts of 25 words or more. Now, some notes on what to expect, and I took this from a class survey that was done recently. This is pretty representative of what students will say because I want you to know what to expect. First of all, you're going to see that 83% of the class participated. Most of my students, and that's a pretty common number, are going to participate in the end of the semester feedback survey that's done, in a blind feedback survey that's done for all classes. Now, of the 15 that participated, 12 said they had to either do a lot of time, spend a lot of time, or a huge amount of time on this course. So generally speaking, people said they had to put a lot into it. If you asked how much they learned, 15 out of 15 said a huge amount or a lot. Everybody said I treated them fairly, and the course got excellent or good ratings across the board. So you're going to see basically what to take from this is the fact that you're going to have to work a lot, but you're going to get a lot out of the course. Lastly, what should you do now? First thing you need to do, if you do not have a textbook, you need to get one. As I said, quizzes and tests, and there will be a quiz at the end of the first week, are open book. And in those quizzes, which you can take up to twice, by the way, if you do not have the book, it is kind of hard to take advantage of that fact. The next thing, so first thing, go find a way to get a book. Once again, used, bookstore. If you've got financial aid, you have to go through that, that's fine. Whatever works best for you. But two, second thing after you've done that, go on to the discussion board and introduce yourself. Thirdly, I'd like you to probably early on take a look at Module 1 so you see what's in there, and then once you get your book, read and get started. All right? If you have any questions, let me know. My office hours, once again, are here. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you this semester. I look forward to it. We're going to have a lot of fun. Thanks. Let me know if you have any questions.